जय हिंद दोस्तों, फिर से आपका स्वागत है हमारे इस वाजीराम रवि के प्रीलिम्स की रिवीजन सीरीज में। इस लोग 2024 का कर रहे हैं या पार्ट 1 है, मई 2023 से लेकर दिसंबर 2023 तक का। और आप लोगों को पता होगा 26 मई 2024 को प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम होने वाला है। तो आप लोग की तैयारी अच्छी चल रही होगी और हम इसमें आपका साथ देने के लिए हम लोग यह सीरीज़ कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं। और इसमें हम लोगों ने कई सारे सीरीज़ कर चुके थे, कई सारे वीडियोस आ चुके थे इस बुक के। और इसके साथ ही हम लोगों ने विजन आईएएस की पीटी 365 पॉलिटी पूरा कंप्लीट कर लिया है, इकोनॉमिक्स पूरा कंप्लीट कर लिया है। तो अगर आप लोग उसे नहीं देखे तो जाइए उसे भी देखिए, लिंक मैं इसके डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में डाल दूंगा। और आप लोग बस देखें, रिवीजन करें और जितना ज़्यादा बार हो सके उतना अच्छा से देखें और रिवीजन करें। आपसे बस ये अनुरोध है कि अगर आप लोग हमारे चैनल पर नए हैं और अभी तक हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो प्लीज़ 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 इसे सब्सक्राइब करके हमें सपोर्ट करें, क्योंकि आपके सपोर्ट से हमें प्रोत्साहन मिलता है और हम और अच्छे अच्छे वीडियो आपके लिए बना कर लाते हैं। तो आइए आज का अपना सेशन शुरू करते हैं। बस शुरू करने से पहले आपसे बस यही आग्रह रहेगा कि जितने भी आपके दोस्त मित्र या जो भी सहपाठी होंगे जो इस बार प्रीलिम्स देने वाले हैं, उन तक इस वीडियो को जरूर पहुंचाएं, ताकि उन्हें भी इस वीडियो का पूरा लाभ मिल सके और वो भी अपना एग्जाम में अच्छा परफॉर्म कर सके। तो हम लोगों ने लास्ट यहाँ पे किया हुआ था ईडी तक, इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट तक। आज हम लोग शुरू करने वाले हैं कमीशन फॉर साइंटिफिक एंड टेक्निकल टर्मिनोलॉजी CSTT। तो यहाँ से शुरू करते हैं। द कमीशन फॉर साइंटिफिक एंड टर्मिनल टेक्नोलॉजी CSTT इज एमिंग टू क्रिएट technical and scientific terminology in 10 Indian languages. 10 Indian languages underrepresented in the learning landscape. The CSTT will bring out what it calls fundamental via basic dictionaries with 5,000 words per language in 3 to 4 months. These will be in digital searchable format and free of cost. The immediate focus is to cover 15 disciplines: journalism, public administration, chemistry, botany, zoology, philosophy, physics, economics, etc. These are in our textbook formulation at the middle and senior school as well as university level. National Education Policy 2020 has espoused the use of regional language as a medium of education in both school and college. Achievement of CSTT क्या है? तो till date CSTT has standardized the terminology of about 8 lakh technical terms in different subjects and in different languages. Besides this, CSTT has published large number of differential dictionaries, glossaries, textbook, reference material and monographs, quarterly journals. Vigyan Garima Sindhu and Gyan Garima Sindhu are two prominent quaternary journal published by the CSTT. यहाँ पे देख लेते हैं अबाउट कमीशन फॉर साइंटिफिक एंड टेक्नोलॉजी टर्मिनोलॉजी। CSTT क्या है? तो इट वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1961 अंडर क्लॉज 4 ऑफ आर्टिकल 344 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया। ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? टू इवॉल्व एंड डिफाइन साइंटिफिक एंड टेक्निकल टर्म इन हिंदी एंड ऑल इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस। प्रेजेंटली CSTT इज फंक्शनिंग अंडर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ हायर एजुकेशन, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन। इट इज हेडक्वार्टर्ड इन न्यू दिल्ली। फंक्शंस ऑफ CSTT क्या है? तो प्रिपरेशन एंड पब्लिकेशन ऑफ बाइलिंगुअल एंड trilingual glossaries involving English and Hindi and other Indian languages, identification of pan-India terms, preparation and publication of national terminology, identification and publication of a school level terminology and departmental glossaries, preparation of differential dictionaries and encyclopedias, preparation of university level textbook, monographs and journals. Grant in aid to Grand Academics Textbook Board and University calls for university level book in regional languages. Preparation, expression and critical review of terms coined and defined through training and orientation programs, workshops, seminars, etc. Providing necessary terminology to National Transition Mission. 8th schedule of the Constitution क्या है? The 8th schedule of the Constitution lists the official language of India. Part 17 of the Constitution deal with the official language in Article 243 to 251. Although there are hundreds of languages spoken across the country, the 8th schedule recognizes a total of 22 languages as the official languages. These 22 languages are Assami, Bengali, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Oriya, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu, Bondo, Santhali, Maithili and Dogri. Of these languages, 11 were initially included in the constitution. Sindhi language was added in 1967. Thereafter, 3 more languages via Konkani, Manipur and Nepali were included in 1992. Subsequently, Bodo, Dogri, Maithili and Santhali were added in 2004. There is no fixed criteria for any language to be considered for inclusion in the 8th schedule. Solicitor General SG of India क्या है? तो the Solicitor General of India assist the Attorney General of India in fulfilling his duties along with the Additional Solicitor General ASG, and is the second highest law officer in the country. The constitution doesn't contain any mention about this post and only defines the role and representability of Attorney General of India under Article 76. Rules regulating the recommendation, duties and other terms and conditions of the Solicitor General for India along with Attorney General and Additional Solicitor General are defined under Law Officer Condition of Service Rule 1987. Terms of office क्या है? तो the Solicitor General remain in the office for a period of 3 years and is eligible for reappointment for a further term next exceeding 3 years. His appointment can be terminated by 3 months notice in writing by either side at any time during his tenure. Duties to provide legal advice and perform duties assigned by the government. तो क्या क्या ड्यूटी है? तो दे रिप्रेजेंट द गवर्नमेंट इन सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट केसेस इंक्लूडिंग सूट्स, writ petitions, appeals and other proceedings. They also represent the government in any reference made by the President of the Supreme Court under Article 143 of the Constitution, which deals with the President's power to consult the Supreme Court on matters of public importance. They also discharge other functions conferred by the Constitution or any other law in force. Restrictions क्या है? तो the SGI is prohibited from holding courts briefs for any party except the government of India, a state, a university or other government entities. They cannot advise against the government of or a public sector undertaking, defend an accused person in a criminal prosecution without the government's permission, except appointment to officer in a company or corporation without the government's permission. They cannot advise any ministry or department of government without ordering from the Ministry of Law and Justice. Cabinet committees क्या है? तो cabinet committee are extra constitutional in nature. They are not mentioned in the constitution. However, these are established under the rule of business. Cabinet committees are set up by the Prime Minister according to the exigence of time and requirements of the situation. Hence, the number, nomenclature and composition vary from time to time. They not only sort out issues and formulate proposals for the consideration of the cabinet but also make decisions. However, the cabinet can review these decisions. There are organizational devices to reduce the enormous workload of the cabinet. They are facilitated in-depth examination of policies, issue and effective coordination. They are based on the principle of division of labor and effective delegation. Classification कैसे हुआ? तो there are total of 8 cabinet committees which are listed below. तो कौन कौन सा आप देख लेते हैं. पहला appointment committee of the cabinet. Next is cabinet committee on economic affairs. Next cabinet committee on political affairs. अगला है cabinet committee on investment and growth. अगला है cabinet committee on security. Next is cabinet committee on parliamentary affairs. Next is cabinet committee on employment and skill development. Next is cabinet committee on accommodation. Composition क्या है? तो the composition of cabinet committee in India can range from 3 to 8 number, which typically consist of only cabinet ministers. No cabinet minister and senior minister can be appointed as member of the committee, including those not responsible for the subject discussed. The Prime Minister typically chair the committee, but other committee ministers like the Home Minister or Finance Minister may also assume the role. And if the Prime Minister is a committee member, they are the head. The Prime Minister lead all committees except the Cabinet Committee on Accommodation and on Parliamentary Affairs in the current scenario. The Cabinet Committee on Accommodation is headed by Home Minister, and with the Cabinet Committee on Parliamentary Affairs is headed by the Defence Minister. अगला Central Consumer Protection Authority CCPA. तो क्या है इसके बारे में? तो CCPA is proving about 20 IS coaching institute and has slapped a fine of rupees 1 lakh on 4 of them for making misleading claim in their advertisement and for unfair trade practices. Central Consumer Protection Authority CCPA क्या है? तो it is a statutory body established in 2020 under the provision of Consumer Protection Act 2019. It functions under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Objective क्या है? तो it regulate matters relating to violation of consumer rights and to promote protection and enforce द राइट्स ऑफ कंज्यूमर एज अ क्लास। कंपोजिशन क्या है, तो इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ ए चीफ कमिश्नर एज अ हेड एंड टू अदर कमिश्नर्स एज मेंबर। दे आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट। पावर एंड फंक्शन क्या है, तो कंडक्ट इन्वेस्टिगेशंस into violation of consumer rights and institute complaints either suo moto or on a complaint received on or on the directions from the central government. Order, order recall or unsafe goods and services. Order discontinuation of unfair trade practice and misleading advertisement and impose penalties on of up to 10 lakh rupees. File complaint on intervene in any proceeding before district or state or the National Commission in respect of any allegation of violation of consumer right or unfair trade practices. Recommend adoption of international convent and best international practices on consumer rights. Undertake and promote awareness and research in the field of consumer rights. Encourage non-governmental organizations, NGOs, and other institutions working in the field of consumer rights to cooperate and work with consumer protection agencies. Mandate the use of unique and universal good identifiers in such goods as may be necessary to prevent unfair trade practices and to protect consumer interest. It has an investigation wing headed by Director General appointed by the central government. अगला सेंट्रल इंफॉर्मेशन कमीशन CIC अबाउट में क्या है, तो इट इज अ स्टेटरी बॉडी कंस्टिट्यूटेड अंडर सेक्शन 12 ऑफ द राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन राइट RTI Act 2005 for ensuring a smoother and greater access to information envisaged under the RTI Act to Indian citizen through a citizen-centric approach. It is not a constitutional body. ऑब्जेक्टिव इसका क्या है, तो पहला है टू रिसीव एंड इंक्वायर एट सिटीजन कंप्लेंट अंडर सेक्शन 18 ऑफ द RTI Act. Next is to receive and decide upon the second appeal from any citizen under section 19 of the RTI Act. अगला to exercise the power conferred on CIC under the RTI Act 2005. Next is to perform the duty of monitoring and reporting under section 25 of the RTI Act. Appointment क्या होता है, तो the commission consists of chief information commissioner and not more than 10 information commissioners appointed by the president on the recommendation of a committee consisting of पहला द प्राइम मिनिस्टर चेयरपर्सन वही रहेंगे, लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन LOP इन द लोकसभा एंड अ यूनियन कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर नॉमिनेटेड बाय द प्राइम मिनिस्टर. एलिजिबिलिटी क्या होगा, तो चीफ एंड मेंबर ऑफ CIC एंड SIC शुड बी पर्सन्स ऑफ इमिनेंस इन पब्लिक लाइफ विथ वाइड टर्म ऑफ ऑफिस एंड रीअपॉइंटमेंट. द मेंबर्स शुड नॉट बी अ मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट MP और मेंबर ऑफ लेजिस्लेटिव of any state or union territory or hold any other office of profit or connected with any political party or carry on any business or pursuing any profession. Removal कैसे होता है, the president can remove the member of the CIC, governor in case of SIC if a member has been, कौन कौन सा होगा, तो पहला होगा adjudged insolvent. Next is convicted of any offense involving moral turpitude. Next is engages in paid employment outside his office. अगला declared unfit to continue in office due to infirmity of mind or body. Next is acquired such financial or other interest that can affect his functioning as chief information commissioner or information commissioners. Next is the president or governor can also remove the member on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity. Such cases must be referred to the Supreme Court SC for an inquiry, and if the SC upholds the cause of removal and advisor so, then the president for CIC and governor for SIC can remove him. The member can be suspended or prohibited from office during SC inquiry. Term of office and reappointment क्या है, तो members of the commission would serve that term as prescribed by the central government or until they reached 65-year-old. CIC and SIC chief aren't eligible for reappointment. पावर एंड फंक्शन में क्या होगा, तो द सेंट्रल इंफॉर्मेशन कमिश्नर CIC receives and investigates complaint under the RTI Act 2005, adjudicates second appeals and imposes penalties for non-performers. It has access to public record, has suo motu power to order inquiries and has the power of a civil court. The decision of commission on an appeal is binding and not subject to further reappeal in court of law It also presents an annual report to the Union Government. अगला सेंट्रल बोर्ड ऑफ फिल्म सर्टिफिकेशन CBFC। कंटेक्स्ट क्या है तो रिसेंटली बोथ द हाउसेज पास्ड द सिनेमेटोग्राफी अमेंडमेंट बिल 2023। अबाउट CBFC क्या है तो CBFC इज अ स्टैट्यूटरी बॉडी विच वर्क इन अकॉर्डेंस विद द प्रोविजंस ऑफ सिनेमेटोग्राफ एक्ट 1952 एंड सिनेमेटोग्राफ सर्टिफिकेशन रूल 1983। It was established in 1951 and headquartered in Mumbai, Maharashtra. It functions within the ambit of Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. It has 9 regional offices in cities like Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, New Delhi, Trivandrum, Calcutta and Guwahati. Mandate में क्या हो जाएगा तो it is a censorship and classification body to regulate the public exhibition of film to ensure healthy environment, entertainment and education to the public. गवर्नेंस में क्या हो जाएगा तो द बोर्ड कंसिस्ट ऑफ चेयरपर्सन एंड 25 अदर नॉन ऑफिशियल मेंबर्स ऑल ऑफ whom were appointed by Government of India. Prasoon Joshi is the present chairperson. अगला नेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स कमीशन। The NHRC, a statutory body, was established in 1993 for protecting and promoting human rights under the Protection of Human Rights Act PHR in 1993. It was amended by the Protection of Human Rights Amendment Act 2006. The Act also provides for the establishment of State Human Rights Commission. फंक्शन क्या हो जाएगा तो पहला इंक्वायर सो मोटो ऑन और ऑन अ पिटिशन प्रेजेंटेड टू इट बाय अ विक्टिम और एनी पर्सन ऑन हिज बिहाफ और ऑन अ डायरेक्शन और ऑर्डर ऑफ एनी कोर्ट इनटू अ कंप्लेंट ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स वायलेशन और नेग्लेंस इन द प्रिवेंशन ऑफ सच वायलेशन बाय पब्लिक सर्वेंट। इंटरवेंशन क्या है तो इन एनी प्रोसीडिंग्स इन्वॉल्विंग एनी एलिगेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स वायलेशन पेंडिंग बिफोर अ कोर्ट विद द अप्रूवल ऑफ सच कोर्ट। विजिट में क्या हो जाएगा तो एनी जेल और अदर इंस्टीट्यूशन टू इवॉल्व द लिविंग कंडीशन ऑफ इनमेट्स एंड प्रोवाइड रिकमेंडेशन टू द गवर्नमेंट। रिव्यू में क्या हो जाएगा तो सेफगार्ड provides for the constitution or law for human rights protection and recommended effective implementation while also identifying and addressing factors that hinder the enjoyment. Study क्या हो जाएगा तो treaties and other international institution and human rights and make recommendation for their effective implementation. Promote में क्या आ जाएगा तो research in the field of human rights and awareness about the safeguard available for the protection of these rights through publication, the media, seminars and other available means. स्प्रेड में क्या हो जाएगा तो ह्यूमन राइट्स लिटरेसी एमंग वेरियस सेक्टर्स ऑफ सोसाइटी। इनकरेज में क्या हो जाएगा तो एफर्ट्स ऑफ NGOs एंड इंस्टीट्यूशंस वर्किंग इन द फील्ड ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स। कंपोजिशन ऑफ द कमीशन में क्या हो जाएगा तो चेयरपर्सन फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया और अ जज ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट। 5 मेंबर बॉडी है 1 मेंबर हु इज और हैज़ बीन अ जज ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट, 1 who is or has been the chief justice of high court, 3 member at least one should be a woman to be appointed from almost amongst people having knowledge of or practical experience in matter relating to human rights. Deemed member कौन कौन हो जाएगा तो चेयरपर्सन या चीफ कमिश्नर ऑफ नेशनल कमीशन NC फॉर बैकवर्ड क्लास, नेशनल कमीशन फॉर माइनॉरिटीज, NC फॉर शेड्यूल्ड क्लास, NC फॉर शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब, NC फॉर प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ चाइल्ड राइट्स, NC for women and chief commissioner for person and with disabilities. Appointment क्या जाएगा president appoint the chairperson and all the members for a period of 3 year or 70 year of age which where is the earlier on the recommendation of committee consisting of prime minister, Lok Sabha speaker, minister of home affairs, leaders of opposition from the Lok Sabha and the Raj Sabha and deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha. Digital advertisement policy. The Union government unveiled a digital advertisement policy allowing its advertising wing, the Central Bureau of Commissioners (CBC), to undertake advertisement campaign of social media, OTT platform and other digital media. Central Bureau of Communication (CBC) क्या है तो the CBC was set up in 2017 under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting by integrating the erstwhile Directorate of Advertising and Visual Publicity DAVP, Directorate of Field Publicity DFP, Song and Drama Division SDD. It provides 360-degree communication solution to ministers, department, public sector undertaking, PSUs and autonomous bodies. It is engaged in the process of educating people, both rural and urban, about the government's policy and program through different vehicles of communication via print media, advertising, audio visual campaign, dissemination via exhibition, outdoor campaign and digital media etc. अगला है एडवर्टाइजिंग स्टैंडर्ड काउंसिल. The Advertising Standard Council of India was established in 1985 Mumbai. It is self-regulatory voluntary organization of the advertising industry in India that seeks to ensure that advertisement conforms to its code for self-regulation. It is mandatory for television network to follow the advertising code laid down by ASCI. अगला हमारा हेडिंग है इलेक्शंस. तो इलेक्शन के अंदर पहला टॉपिक है चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड अदर इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स, अपॉइंटमेंट, कंडीशन एंड सर्विस एंड टर्म ऑफ ऑफिस एक्ट 2023. अबाउट में क्या हो जाएगा तो इट अपील्स द इलेक्शन कमीशन कंडीशन ऑफ सर्विस ऑफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर एंड ट्रांजैक्शन ऑफ बिजनेस एक्ट 1991 and seeks to regulate the appointment, condition of service and term of office of the chief election commissioner and other election commissioners. की प्रोविजन ऑफ द एक्ट में क्या हो जाएगा तो अपॉइंटमेंट पहले हो जाएगा तो द CEC एंड अदर ECs will be appointed by the president. क्वालिफिकेशन क्या हो जाएगा तो फ्रॉम फॉर बीइंग इलेक्टेड फॉर द पोस्ट ऑफ CEC और ECs a person should पहला of integrity who have knowledge and of and experience in management and conducting elections, holding or have held a post equivalent to the rank of secretary to the government of India. Next is earlier there were no rule prescribing the qualification for appointment to the post. A large search committee headed by the cabinet secretary and including 2 members not below the rank of secretary having knowledge and experience in matter relating to elections. अगला सिलेक्शन कमेटी, द रिकमेंडेड नेम ऑफ पर्सन टू बी अपॉइंटेड एज द CEC एंड ECs टू द प्रेसिडेंट. इट विल कंसिस्ट ऑफ पहला प्राइम मिनिस्टर एज द चेयरपर्सन, लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन इन द हाउस ऑफ पीपल एज अ मेंबर, यूनियन कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर टू बी नॉमिनेटेड बाई प्राइम मिनिस्टर एज अ मेंबर. एनी वैकेंसी और डिफेक्ट in the constitution of the selection committee won't make the appointment of CEC and ECs invalid. अगला टर्म ऑफ ऑफिस, तो इट रिमेन अनचेंज्ड, दैट इज द CEC and other ECs shall hold office for a term of 6 years from the date of appointment or till attaining the age of 65 years, whichever is the earlier. They won't be eligible for reappointment. If an election commissioner is appointed as chief election commissioner, his term of office shall not be more than 6 years in aggregate as the election commissioner and the chief election commissioner. Salary and allowance, the act provides that salary, allowance and service condition of CEC and other ECs will be the same as that of cabinet secretary. The 1991 act provides that the salary of ECs will be equal to that of Supreme Court judge. Resignation and removal, तो कैसे रिजाइन और रिमूवल होता है इनका, तो CEC and other ECs may at any time resign from his office by writing to the president. The removal will be according to Article 342 Clause 5 of the Constitution, which state that the removal of CEC will be like that of a judge of Supreme Court, and other ECs or a regional commissioner shall be removed from office only on the recommendation of CEC. कंडक्ट ऑफ बिजनेस में क्या होगा तो ऑल बिजनेस ऑफ द इलेक्शन कमीशन इज टू बी कंडक्टेड अनएनिमसली एंड इन केस ऑफ एनी डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन बिटवीन द CEC एंड अदर ECs ऑन एनी मैटर, मेजोरिटी डिसीजन शैल प्रिवेल. नेक्स्ट है इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड. तो इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड क्या है तो 5 जज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बेंच ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट CSE लेड बाय द चीफ इलेक्शन कमीशन चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया CJI revised its verdict while hearing a batch of petitions challenging the constitutional validity of Central Electoral Bond Scheme 2018. Electoral Bond Scheme 2018 launched in 2018. This scheme provides for a electoral bond EB which is a bearer instrument like a promissory note that can be used by an Indian citizen or any Indian company to make donation to political parties of their choices. They are payable to the bearer free of interest and demand and can be pushed digitally NEFT or RTGS or through demand draft or check. It was introduced via the Finance Act of 2016 and 17 by amending Representation of People Act 1951 (RPA) and Companies Act 2013, the Income Tax Act 1961 and the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act 2010 (FCRA). All payment for the issuance of the electoral bond will be accepted in Indian rupee only. Electoral bond cannot be purchased through foreign currency. One cannot get a loan on electoral bond. No pledge electoral bond against purchase of gold and securities. Electoral bond are not listed on any stock exchange. Once the electoral bond is purchased, it cannot be challenged, cancelled or no amount will be refunded to the purchaser. Process क्या है इसका? तो electoral bonds can be purchased for any value in multiple of 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh and 1 crore. There is no maximum limit for donation from the specified branches of State Bank of India (SBI) through account comply with KYC norms. SBI is the only bank authorized to sell this bond via designated SBI branches. The name and other information of the donor are not mentioned on the bond and therefore they are said to be anonymous, but KYC norm will be applicable regardless of whether the applicant is an SBI account holder or a non-SBI account holder. Electoral bond can be purchased either singly or jointly with other individual, but not more than 3 applicants per application form. No name will be printed on the bond. There is no cap on the number of bonds that can be purchased by an individual or a company. EBs can be purchased for the first 10 days of the beginning month of every quarter, that is जनवरी में होगा, अप्रैल में होगा, जुलाई में होगा, अक्टूबर में होगा, each year के. Eligibility to receive fund through EBs. Political parties registered under Section 29A of RPA 1951, securing at least 1% of votes polled in the last election to House of People or a Legislative Assembly, are eligible to receive donation through EBs. इनकोर सॉफ्टवेयर क्या है? तो अबाउट इनकोर enabling communication on real-time environment is an in-house software designed by the Election Commission of India for candidate and election management. Objective क्या होगा? तो to provide a seamless facility for returning officers ROs to process candidate nomination, affidavit, voter turnout, counting, result and data management. ICT Innovation of Election Commission of India ECI. वोटर पोर्टल क्या होगा? तो प्रोवाइड द फैसिलिटी ऑफ सर्चिंग नेम इन द इलेक्टोरल रोल. टोल फ्री नंबर 1950 क्या है? तो थ्रू दिस वन कैन टॉक टू इलेक्शन रिलेटेड इशू इन मोर देन 22 लैंग्वेजेस. SVEEP पोर्टल क्या होगा? तो इट इज़ कॉल्ड फॉर सिस्टमैटिक वोटर्स एजुकेशन एंड इलेक्टोरल पार्टिसिपेशन प्रोग्राम. इट प्रोवाइड्स फॉर वोटर एजुकेशन, स्प्रेडिंग वोटर अवेयरनेस एंड प्रोमोटिंग वोटर लिटरेसी इन इंडिया. EVM मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम EMS. The EMS is designated to manage inventory of EVM unit, that is tracking of units from manufacturer to a state to a state and district to district. Aeronaut electoral exercise like improvement of health of electoral roll. New voter registration and updating of records are done by using this app. Civil app. It standards for citizen vigilance. It gives an opportunity to repeat election code violation directly by citizen. The app enables a geotagging feature. Both app. This application facilitates faster identification of voters using quick search for the electors based on serial number, EPIC number and name. Voter turnout app. This app approximates voter turnout percentage of each assembly constituency, parliamentary constituency to a larger public. Result ECI portal to ensure fast and authentic result of the election. It connects the counting center across India in a secured manner. Election expenditure app for monitoring of election expenses on a regular basis during this campaign period. Index card. This card is an important module of INCORE. Every detail of election is reconciled with the physical record, validated and verified by a returning officer and chief electoral officer of the state. New web portal for political parties to file financial account detail. Political parties are required to submit their financial account detail to the election commissioner, the chief electoral officer of a state or union territory as per the Representation of People Act 1951. and transparency guidelines issued by the Commission from time to time. Article 324, it empowered the Election Commissioner to monitor, direct and control the elections. Section 29A of Representation of People Act 1951, it deals with the registration of association and bodies as political parties with the Election Commissioner. Section 13A of Income Tax Act, it contains special provision relating to income of political parties and state that income from house property or income from other sources or any income by way of voluntary contribution received from any person shall not be included in the total income of such political party, provided that all the records are maintained and accounted are audited. अबाउट द पोर्टल के बारे में यहाँ पे देख लेते क्या है. तो इट विल हेल्प इन ऑनलाइन फाइलिंग ऑफ कंट्रीब्यूशन रिपोर्ट, ऑडिटेड एनुअल अकाउंट एंड इलेक्शन expenditure statement of political parties. It has a facility for SMS reminder on the registered mobile number and registered email of the authorized representative of the political party so that dates of compliance are not missed. It consists of comprehensive guiding manual with graphical representation and FAQs. Objective क्या है? तो it facilitate political parties in overcoming the difficulties in filing the report physically, to ensure timely filing of financial statement in a prescribed standardized format. अगला है कंपेयरिंग रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल एक्ट 1950 एंड रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल एक्ट 1951. तो पहले रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ पीपल एक्ट 1950 देख लेते हैं क्या है, उसके बाद फिर 1951 का देखेंगे क्या है. तो 1950 का पहले देखते हैं. प्रोवाइड्स रूल्स रिलेटेड टू द पार्टिसिपेशन फॉर इलेक्शन. नेक्स्ट इज प्रोवाइड्स फॉर एक्चुअल एलोकेशन ऑफ सीट्स इन लोकसभा, राज्यसभा, लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली एंड लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल. नेक्स्ट इज प्रोवाइड फॉर रिजर्वेशन ऑफ सीट्स इन द पार्लियामेंट फॉर SC/STs. नेक्स्ट है लॉज डाउन वोटर्स क्वालिफिकेशंस. नेक्स्ट इज लेज डाउन प्रोसीजर फॉर द पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ इलेक्टोरल रोल एंड द मैनर ऑफ फाइलिंग सीट्स. नेक्स्ट है प्रोवाइड्स द प्रोसीजर फॉर डिलिमिटेशन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी. 1951 में देखते क्या है, तो मेक्स प्रोविजन फॉर द एक्चुअल कंडक्ट ऑफ इलेक्शन. नेक्स्ट है प्रोवाइड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव मशीनरी फॉर कंडक्टिंग इलेक्शंस. नेक्स्ट इज डील्स विद द रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज. अगला है स्पेसिफाइज द क्वालिफिकेशन एंड डिसक्वालिफिकेशन फॉर मेंबरशिप ऑफ द हाउस. अगला प्रोविजन टू कर्ब करप्ट प्रैक्टिसेस एंड अदर इलेक्टोरल ऑफेंसेस. नेक्स्ट इज प्रोसीजर फॉर सेटिंग डाउट्स एंड डिस्प्यूट्स arising outside the election. Next is provides rule for political parties for accepting donations. अगला Association of Bulk Election Bonds ABEV. Recently, the Chief Election Commissioner, along with 3 members from the Election Commission of India (ECI), attended the 11th meeting of the Executive Board of Association of Bulk Election Bodies ABEV at Cartagena, Colombia. About में क्या है, तो founded in 2013. It is world's largest international organization in the field of election management, comparing of 121 election management bodies EMBs from 111 countries. Vision क्या है, तो foster efficiency and effectiveness in conducting free, fair, transparent and participative election worldwide. Composition में क्या है, तो it is composed of General Assembly, the Executive Board, the Oversight and Audit Committee, and the Secretariat in Seoul, Republic of Korea. ABEV Center has been established in New Delhi for documentation and research, sharing the best practices and training and capacity building of officials of ABEV members. अगला हमारा टॉपिक गवर्नेंस. गवर्नेंस में पहला न्यूज़ है PM केयर फंड. तो PM केयर फंड वाज created in 2020 for combating containment and relief efforts against the coronavirus outbreak and similar pandemic-like situation in the future, and is registered as public charitable trust under the Registration Act 1908. This fund is used as a discretion of the PM and does not form a part of the Government of India account. PM केयर फंड का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, तो पहला टू प्रोवाइड असिस्टेंस and relief to the affected in the event of any calamity, disaster, public health emergency or any other emergency of any kind that may be either natural or man-made. अगला creation as well as upgradation of any pharmaceutical facility. नेक्स्ट इज फंडिंग रिसर्च। अगला है क्रिएशन और अपग्रेडेशन ऑफ एनी नेसेसरी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, हेल्थ केयर सपोर्ट और एनी अदर काइंड ऑफ सपोर्ट। कंपोजिशन में क्या आ जाएगा, तो एक्स ऑफिशियो चेयरमैन कौन है, प्राइम मिनिस्टर। एक्स ऑफिशियो ट्रस्टी है मिनिस्टर ऑफ डिफेंस, मिनिस्टर ऑफ होम अफेयर एंड मिनिस्टर ऑफ फाइनेंस। ट्रस्टी है कौन, तो 3 ट्रस्टी टू बी नॉमिनेटेड टू द बोर्ड ऑफ ट्रस्टी बाय द प्राइम मिनिस्टर। कंट्रीब्यूशन किसका रहेगा, तो द फंड कंसिस्ट एंटायरली ऑफ वॉलंटरी कंट्रीब्यूशन फ्रॉम इंडिविजुअल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इंक्लूडिंग कंपनी, अदर चैरिटेबल इंस्टीट्यूशन, associations etc and does not get any budgetary support. Individual and organizations based in foreign countries can contribute too. Exemptions क्या है, तो donations to PM Care Fund are eligible for 80G benefit for 100% exemption under the Income Tax Act 1961. Donation to be counted as corporate society responsibility CSR expenditure under the Company Act of 2013. Foreign donation are exempted under FCRA. प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स नेशनल रिलीफ फंड PMNRF, ये क्या है, तो PMNRF was established in 1948 with public contribution to assist displaced person from Pakistan. The resources of the PMNRF are now utilized primarily to render immediate relief to families of those killed in natural calamities like flood, cyclone and earthquake etc. The fund consists entirely of public contribution and does not get any budgetary support. The corpus of the fund is invested in various forms with scheduled commercial bank and other agencies. PMNF NRF accept only voluntary donation by individual and institutions. नेशनल डिजास्टर रिस्पांस फंड, तो ये क्या है, with the implementation of Disaster Management Act 2005, the National Calamity Contingency Fund NCCF underwent a name change and became known as the National Disaster Response Fund NDRF. The NDRF is now allocated to the public account of the Government of India and classified under the category of Reserve Fund not bearing interest. Currently, a National Calamity Contingent Duty NCCD is levied to finance the NDRF and additional budgetary support is provided as and when necessary. Comptroller and Auditor General CAG audit the account of NDRF. अगला टॉपिक है हमारा यूनियन लेड पैनल आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर ULPIN। तो उससे पहला है डिजिटल इंडिया लैंड रिकॉर्ड मॉडर्नाइजेशन प्रोग्राम DILRMP is being implemented by the Department of Land Resource under Ministry of Rural Development through state या UT government to accelerated digitalization of land record. Under this program, unique land panel parcel identification number ULPIN or Bhu Aadhaar, the Aadhaar number for land, will be assigned to the land parcel. About unique land parcel identification number ULPIN, also known as the Bhu Aadhaar, it is 14-digit alphanumeric unique ID identification number accorded to a land panel and is a single authoritative source of trust for information on any parcel of land or property to provide integrated land services to the citizen as well as stakeholders. Earlier, different states used different methods for assigning unique IDs to land parcels. For digitalizing the land record, ULPIN was introduced with the aim of having one registration system across the country. Implemented by क्या होगा, Department of Land Resource DOLR along with the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology MATRI, Department of Science and Technology DST and National Remote Sensing Center NRSC. Digital India Land Record Modernization Program DILRMP. So this program was launched in 2008 by combining two centrally sponsored scheme of Department of Land Resource via पहला है कंप्यूटराइजेशन ऑफ लैंड रिकॉर्ड CLR और दूसरा है स्ट्रेंथनिंग ऑफ रेवेन्यू एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड अपडेटिंग ऑफ लैंड रिकॉर्ड्स SRA and ULR. This program central sector scheme has been extended to 2023-24 to complete its original target as well as expand its ambit with a slew of new schemes. The program has introduced various new measures such as National Generic Document Registration System NGDRS, ULPIN transliteration of record of rights, the connection between revenue court and land records, and the integration of consist-based Aadhaar number with the land records. NGDRS, it is aimed at providing one nation, one software for registration of documentation and properties to empower citizens. DILRMP's next phase will include linkage of land record database with bank. This will improve the provision of services to the citizen of the country and service as valuable inputs for scheme in other sectors such as agriculture, finance, disaster management and more. अगला नेशनल ट्रेनिंग कॉन्क्लेव मिशन कर्मयोगी दीक्षा. National Training Conclave. Prime Minister recently inaugurated the first ever National Training Conclave at the International Exhibition and Convention Center in New Delhi to strengthen the training infrastructure for civil servants across India. It is a part of National Program for Civil Service Capacity Building NPCSCB. मिशन कर्मयोगी. ऑब्जेक्टिव इसका क्या है? So to foster collaboration among civil services, training institute and booster the training infrastructure for civil servants across the country, to provide a platform for networking, knowledge exchange, identifying challenges and key areas of collaboration, hosted by Capacity Building Commission. मिशन कर्मयोगी क्या है? तो इट इज़ द नेशनल प्रोग्राम फॉर सिविल सर्विस कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग NPCSCP launched in 2020 to reform Indian bureaucracy and prepare civil servant for the future through a competency framework for civil services that will cover around 4.2 million central employees. Objective क्या है? To build a future ready civil services with the right attitude, skills and knowledge aligned to the vision of new India by making them more creative, constructive, imaginative, proactive, innovative, progressive, professional, energetic, transparent and technology enabled. फीचर्स क्या है? तो चेंज इन द माइंडसेट. गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स शुड कंसिडर देमसेल्फ कर्मयोगीज इंस्टेड ऑफ कंसिडरिंग देम कर्माचिस. Change in the workplace, from assigning individual responsibility for performance to diagnosing the constraint in civil servants' performance using means, motives and opportunity MMO framework, moving the public HR management system from being rule-based to role-based. Institutional framework. पहला प्राइम मिनिस्टर ह्यूमन रिसोर्स काउंसिल PMHRC. It is the apex body for driving and providing strategic direction to civil services reform and capacity building. It is headed by PM and consisting of Union Minister and CM along with eminent public HR participator, thinker, public service facilitator, etc. Cabinet Secretary Coordination Unit, chaired by the Cabinet Secretary. It has representation for the central and state bureaucracy to monitor the implementation of NPCSCB, align stakeholder and provide mechanism for overseeing capacity building plans. Capacity Building Commission, conceived as an independent body. This three-member commission with full executive power has been set up for functional supervision of training institution and facilitating preparedness of annual capacity building plan. Karmyogi Bharat Special Purpose Vehicle SPV. It is an autonomous company set up under Section 8 of the Company Act 2013 to own and operate all the digital assets created by NPCSCB on behalf of the Government of India. Program Management Unit PMO. It will provide program management and support service to the department. Daksha. Development of attitude, knowledge, skill and holistic transformation in administrative for young professionals. About में क्या हो जाएगा? तो it is a collection of 18 courses launched by the IGOT Karmyogi platform for building functional, domain and behavioral competence in the learner by acquiring them with subject crucial for discharging their duties and responsibility effectively. अगला है परिवार पहचान पत्र. तो इसे हम लोग अगले वीडियो लेक्चर में करेंगे. इस वीडियो लेक्चर को हम लोग यहीं पे समाप्त करते हैं. उम्मीद है आपको यह वीडियो पसंद आया होगा. तो आप लोग हमें कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर बताएंगे आपको हमारी यह पहल कैसी लग रही है. और अगर आप लोग हमारे चैनल पर नए हैं और अभी तक हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो प्लीज़ इसे सब्सक्राइब करके हमें सपोर्ट करें. वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा शेयर करें उन लोगों तक जो इस बार का यूपीएससी पीटी देने वाले हैं, ताकि उन्हें वीडियो का लाभ मिले और वो भी करंट अफेयर में अपने आप को सहज महसूस करें। और कमेंट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके जरूर बताएंगे। वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा और रिवाइज करें, ताकि जितना आप रिवाइज करेंगे उतना ही अच्छा आपका कंसेप्ट बिल्ड होगा और उतना ही अच्छा आप लोग एग्जाम में परफॉर्म करेंगे। तो मिलते हैं आपसे अगले वीडियो लेक्चर में, तब तक के लिए पढ़ते रहिए, रिवीजन करते रहिए। जय हिंद, जय भारत।